We will see how to use viewports using clipping planes. Now this is a new functionality in Drishti. What this allows you to do is add a virtual camera at clipping plane or at clipping position. So let's add a clipping plane here. So I pressed C and added this clipping plane here. Now compared to previous version of this tree, that is 2.2, the parameter dialog for clipping plane has changed. This is the new clip plane dialog, and you can see that there are quite a few parameters listed here, and there are general help here, which gives you general help about the clipping plane, and also gives some information about viewport here. So let's give a transfer function set to this clipping plane. So what it will do is, when I give a transfer function set which is non-zero, so currently it is -1, meaning this clipping plane is not acting as a textured plane. So when I give a transform function set here, so it is going to choose transfer functions from set 0. I can also give, say, set 1, but we will try that later on. So right now we are going to texture this clipping plane with transfer function set 0. So now in order to see the textured plane, what I can do is go to bricks editor here and just switch off the transfer function set here, and as you can see, this clipping plane here is now acting as a textured plane here. So let me turn this back on, set 0, remove, and let me just turn that transfer function set to 1. Now right now there is nothing in transfer function set 1, but we can put the same transfer function to set 1. Now that we have added this transfer function to the clipping plane, we will also now give parameters to the viewport. So currently all the parameters are -1, meaning the viewport is not active. Let's give 0, 0 and 0.5. Now these first two parameters here, 0 and 0, are the lower left coordinates of the viewport here, and this third coordinate is the height. So point, and these are all normalized coordinates. So this is 0, 0 here, this will be 0, 1, this is 1, 0, and this is 1, 1. So we are going up to half, and the height and width have the same aspect ratio as your rendering viewport. So let's turn on the viewport. So this is the viewport. Now let me turn off the box, B, turn off the box, and when I start rotating this clipping plane, the texture here in this viewport for the clipping plane also changes. Now as you can see here, we have placed a virtual camera at the clipping center of this clipping plane here. The normal of this clipping plane, this blue axis, is the view direction for this virtual camera. The green axis here, which is this one, is the up vector for the camera, and the red axis is the right vector. So if I want to rotate, if I want to have the vertical view like that, then I need to rotate this clipping plane So I hover over the clipping plane, then I press say Z so that I select the blue axis, and then I'll rotate that. So using left mouse button I can rotate this clipping plane here, and we get another view using that clipping plane. So viewports allow users to add add virtual camera to the object. So we already have one camera here, which is the global one camera, and this is the local one. And you can have as many clipping planes as you want and as many viewports as you want. You just need to place them around this window. So if I want to have another viewport, say I can press say C to add a clipping plane. I can turn off these clipping planes by going into bricks editor and then switching off these clipping planes. In the next video I will show you how to turn off these clipping planes and change the orientation and translate these clipping planes from the viewport itself. So for the time being, in this video we'll just restrict ourselves to using this brick editor. Okay, so let's use this second clipping plane here. I'll just turn off this clipping plane, and now I've chosen the new clipping plane that I have added. So this transform function set, I can put it to set say 1 or even set 2, and I want to add a viewport here. Now the coordinates for that viewport would be 0 and then 0.5, which is this coordinate here, and then height 0.5. So 0, 0.5 and 0.5 will add a viewport here, this one. Now this clipping plane is using transfer functions from set 2, which is this one here, which we don't have any, and that's why this viewport is empty. So let me add a new transfer function and put it in set 2, and we should see the okay, so this is how we can have a viewport for a clipping plane. And when you change the color of the clipping plane, then that is also reflected in the viewport. So this viewport here has color from this clipping plane here, the vertical one, and the horizontal clipping plane here has orange color, which is shown by the border of the viewport. And you can also see that where the two cuts have been made. So in this viewport here we can see the cut made by the other clipping plane, the orange clipping plane, which is here, and in the top viewport here we can see the cut made by the purple or the whitish clipping plane, which is shown in the viewport below. So the viewports also reflect the clipping planes or the cuts for the other clipping planes. In the next video we will see how to work with the viewports and work with the virtual camera in the viewports.